And welcome to the Body Black Belt Health and Wellness Telesummit, where I've gathered 21 masters in nutrition, fitness, and mindset to help you get the body and the life that you want. And today we've got one of those masters with us today, Nicole Kellerman Worth. And Nicole is a weight loss coach like nobody else. She helps women connect with their bodies, and it helps make weight loss actually fun and easy when you do it her way. She's been featured on websites like The Well-Grounded Life, The Sweaty Betties, and The Greatest. Her teachings are not like nothing else. Her website is wildlyaliveweightloss.com, and this isn't the first time I've had her on the show. It's the second time, and for good reason, because I think she stands out among the crowd with her approach and how she helps women achieve the body and life that they want, and that's why we're doing the show. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the show, Nicole.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. This is so great.
Yeah, it's fun to have you on. Just before this, we were messing around with all the technicalities of this format, and we're like, we should both be outside doing stuff, not online. Right. Well, thank you for joining us, and I just want to start off by saying I want to see your background as far as where you come from and how you approach weight loss and why it's different from others.
Right. So my story is a little interesting how I got into this field. I was never an athlete in high school. I was never really taught how to take care of your body. My parents didn't really value fruits or vegetables, and it is what it is. I don't blame them. It's just how they were raised too. But I never really struggled with my weight as a kid. But when I got out of high school, I gained about 30 pounds, and I was just utterly lost. I didn't know what to do or where to go. And in our society, when you need to lose weight, what do? You diet. So I started dieting, and I'm a super ambitious person. I really wanted the weight off, and I just tried diet after diet after diet after diet. And if anybody watching has done a diet, they know that it sucks, and it's terrible, and it's unrealistic, and it beats your self-esteem down into the ground. And so I really, after 2 years of dieting and it not working, I was really at my wit's end. I didn't know what to do anymore. And so I saw this commercial for personal training school. And so on top of dieting like a freak, I was also an exercise maniac because I just thought you had to eat very little and exercise a lot to lose weight. And the commercial said, "Do you love to be in a gym?" And I was like, well, I'm there all the time anyway. And they're like, well, you should be a personal trainer. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And so I called the counselor, I set up an appointment, and I signed up for personal training school that day to lose weight, which just sounds really stupid, and it was. But it was a blessing in disguise because I started personal training school. I realized I was doing everything wrong. I lost the majority of the weight, and then I started going out in-home and doing in-home personal training, had my own business. It was great. I was like, had my clients, and it was awesome, and I would tell them how I love my new healthy and fit body. But then when I would come home, I'd feel like a total failure because I still felt like it wasn't good enough. I felt like there was always more work to do. So I got this bright idea, which, yeah, one of my many bright ideas, is that, I'm kind of a curvy girl. And I thought, if I could just get all my portions to match, then I would be proportionate and everything would be fine. So I got a boob job, and I thought, okay, now I'm just a curvy trainer. I kept saying that to myself. And you're just a curvy trainer, Nicole. You're not, you may not ever be a size 2, but you're a curvy trainer. And so I was just trying to convince myself that, like, that's the body that I have, and now, like, everything's proportionate, and I can be happy. And, I got out of the surgery, and I thought, there's no reason to be unhappy anymore. And about 3 months out of surgery, I was going out with a few girlfriends, and I had tried all my clothes on, and they all made me look fat. And that was, like, my fall to my knees, crying, surrendering, what the hell am I going to do now? And I didn't understand. I'm like, Nicole, you spent $15,000 on personal training, you spent a lot of money and energy on dieting, and then you just spent $8,000 on a breast augmentation, and you're still not happy. Like, what's I was just like, I was just so lost. I didn't know what to do. And so I kind of just gave up. I was just like, F it. I can't exercise anymore. I can't count another freaking calorie. Like I was just so obsessed, and it was like it was so exhausting doing all of that. And so a few months later, I met my now husband, and I hate to say that, like, and I don't want to say that like a man saved me, but Zach showed me what living was again. Like, he's the epitome of a liver. If it's not fun, he's not doing it. He makes everything fun. He's a total child at heart. And I was not like that. I was like type A. I got my checklist. I know how many calories I spend. That was just not my personality. And so when I met him, I was just like, okay, let's do it. Let's go. Let's have fun. Let's do whatever you want. And I started living and having fun and just letting go. And that is how Wildly Alive Weight Loss came into fruition, is because it was through living and enjoying myself and being happy that I found love and compassion for my body, for everything that she does to me, for me. I mean, she's still not perfect. I still have cellulite, but I embrace it and I love it, and I see the things she does do for me. I found when it comes to food, it was now something that nourished me and that gave me the ability to live, as opposed to something that I disciplined and rewarded myself with. And also my body kind of came more into balance. I lost any extra weight that I had, and I was like, wow, we're taught all wrong how to do this. Like, it's not about calories in, calories. It's about just having fun and going and living life and being in a good emotional place, and then you automatically, subconsciously make healthier decisions. So that's how I got here.
That's amazing. I love that story, and well, thank God for Zach, right? And I know he's part of your business too now, which is it's so great. For those of you that are listening that have found a way to integrate your partner into what you're doing, it's definitely a blessing. So that's really cool. As I saw that come across that he was doing that for you, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So you talk about, so I would summarize what you had just said is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this idea of versus like when you go to start a new gym membership, or when you go to find a trainer or something like this, it's your head is always wrapped around this doingness, like this idea of doing. I've got to do this. I've got to do my thing. But you're talking about focusing more on a way of being, and I want to know from you what is focusing on being. How does that actually manifest as weight loss? Because I know it does, because that's what your story was about. But I'm not clear how being versus doing.
Right. Well, I say this all the time. When you feel fabulous, you make fabulous choices. It's so simple. People want to complicate it, like. And I tell my clients all the time, I don't want you walking out of the house feeling anything less than fabulous. Because if you take a few extra time on your hair and your makeup and your outfit, and like, yes, maybe even invest in some clothes that are not the size that you want them to be, but they make you feel really good, you're going to lose weight faster, because when you step out the door and you're feeling like $1,000,000, you're unstoppable. And you will not sit down at that restaurant and order the burger with cheese and an extra side of fries. You would never do that. You wouldn't. But when you're feeling frumpy, when you're wearing frumpy clothes and you roll out of bed and your hair's all wrapped up and you hadn't taken a shower and you're hungry and you just feel gross, you're going to subconsciously automatically make decisions to continue that feeling. You're going to say, F it. I'm fat anyway, and so if you can just start shifting into what your life and how you want to feel about your body now, you start to move into that place with your body. It's not a force, it's not a struggle, it's not a manipulation, it's not about numbers.
So that's the thing that separates. That's why I have you on the show, because I think that message is unique. Actually, we do sometimes so focus on, and I think I don't know if it's our Western way of thinking or whatever, but we're very analytical in general, and we really focus on counting calories, and I mean this whole thing. What I'm trying to do is stop that. So please listen to Nicole, everybody. Go have fun, and things start to happen magically. What's the best form of exercise? Because I know you have a particular stance on this too. What's the best form of exercise people can do?
Whatever makes you happy. Truly, whatever makes you happy. And I'm all about like dancing for cardio. Totally. Like turn up the music, make a playlist, jump around in your living room, jump on your couch, you know, like just have fun and enjoy it. Excuse me. The reason why people hate exercise and they can't get their butts to do it is because they've created such an unhealthy relationship with it. They've merely seen it as a tool for weight loss. It's just a calorie expenditure. No, that is not what movement is about. Movement is about connecting with your body, feeling good, ideally connecting with nature, coming back into who you are and recentering. It's a gift that you give yourself. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with weight loss. Like completely get rid of that and maybe even just start calling it movement instead of exercise because exercise has a negative correlation. Call it movement. I need to move my body. And you can just tune in. What does your body feel like? If you're a little run down and you're tired, maybe you'll do something like yoga or a walk. But if you have a lot of energy and you're kind of like antsy, do something more high intensity. You don't have to kill yourself, and it doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't even have to be a half an hour. It can be whatever you can get in, a walk, stretching, strength training, cardio, whatever feels good for you. But the only way you're going to figure out which ways of moving that feels good is if you go out and try things, you know?
Yeah, we have this, we definitely look at movement in a very narrow focus, and it's really, like you said, we typically have this goal-oriented way of looking at it, where what if you just moved your body for the freaking fun of it? I mean, we're very similar, actually, Nicole, because, you know, and I'll just tell you, like, really quick personal story for me. I'm going through some emotional stuff right now. I don't need to talk about why, but like the way I process that is through dance. And so I've got my little basement here, and it's my gym too. I'd love to like take my thing and show everybody, but anyway, over here is my gym, and I'll just crank on the music and I do dance. So I love Zumba. There's a dance style called Fierce Funk that I'm doing, but I'll just mess around in my own basement, and what I'll do is I'll dance and stuff, and then I'll do like a set of, I also have weights, so then I'll do some weights, and then I'll dance some more and some weight, and so it doesn't even feel like I'm lifting weights, it's feeling like I'm having fun. I told one of my, there was somebody who I was talking to recently about this, they had an objection about lifting weights, and I was, you know, I said I wasn't forcing this person to look at it like, oh, you have to lift weights, because I definitely don't believe that, but I wanted her to not see it as a thing that she had to do as a goal. But I said, what if you lifted weights just to like give that part of your body love? Like you do bicep curls and you're like, oh, I've got these biceps here that I love and I'm feeling, you know what I mean? That whole idea of moving for the joy of it is so important. Yeah, totally. And dance is so great because you move your body in ways that like you wouldn't in an everyday, you know, in your everyday lifestyle. And it just feels really good, and you know, I do little, I'm sure Travis has seen these, but I do little like dance breaks in my workout videos. I love it. And I will say that I'm not like the best dancer. I did not do it because I have a dance background. I do not have a dance background. I do it because it does make me uncomfortable, especially recording myself doing some of these things. I'm like, you know, and so getting uncomfortable is good. It's totally wildly alive. It's a part of feeling alive every day, getting away from that stagnant, doing the same damn thing every damn day. When you feel alive is when you're happy. And so I do it because it makes me super uncomfortable. And I also do it because after I get over that initial fear and the uncomfortability of not doing it right or looking funky or whatever, it's fun. It's enjoyable, you know, and you are shaking and moving your body in ways that you haven't in years or maybe forever. And you know, and that's really what it's about. That's what movement, that's what body love is about. when people go to make a change and they can do it from a place of joy, they're more likely to keep doing it. So adding dance into whatever it is that you're doing, is great. If I dance though at my house, at the gym like that, I'd probably get kicked out. But that's why I dance in my home.
Right. Yeah, that's why my videos are like you watch them on your computer and you do it in your living room.
You do yours in your living room. I know. I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Here's something I've noticed is a problem too. A lot of times we create these laundry lists of all the things that we have to do in every area of our life so that we can get where we want to be, and it becomes really overwhelming with all this information and so many things. How do you, for your clients, like, what is your approach to keep them out of overwhelm or to break through that resistance that says, well, let's take the laundry list first. Like, is it good to attack all areas at once, or is it good to just focus on one thing at a time, or how do you?
Well, that's a diet, right? Going from one extreme to the other. But they've done a lot of studies on diets and how it really does. It triggers your amygdala, which says that you're stressed out, and then you sabotage. So you have to do it. I always say that being healthy is a moment-by-moment choice. That's all it is. That is all it is. It's a moment-by-moment. Excuse me. It's not, doing like completely cutting out sugar. Don't get me wrong. Let me just say, like, cutting out sugar, being a vegan, cutting out dairy, absolutely those things are healthy for you. But for my personality and a lot of the people who are attracted to me, when you tell me I can't have something, then I just want it more. So if I just say to myself, in this moment, do I want cheese or do I not want cheese? And it's like, okay, well, how is it going to make me feel? Maybe if I eat the cheese, it's going to make me feel a little gassy and bloated. Then from a place of love and body love and service, it's like, I don't really want to be gassy in that meeting, so I'm not going to have the cheese, And so it's more from a place of, like, literally moment by moment, and the moment starts the minute you wake up. How you wake up is the foundation of your day, and this is like one of the first things I talk about with my clients is make the first hour of your day really great. Turn up the music, turn off the TV, and have fun getting ready, and really create that good emotional place. And then as you're going to work, which usually people dread a lot of their jobs, which is unfortunate, like, make it fun. Turn on some music and say, you know what? Today is going to be a good day, and I'm going to make it a good day. Like, it's all in your mindset. Because, again, if you're in a good emotional place, you automatically, subconsciously make healthier decisions. That's really the foundation of really being successful with this in the long term.
Yeah, I resonate with that a lot. I used to work as an engineer, and I remember this in my industry, in these huge buildings, where their hallways were like a mile long, and you'd walk down the hallway, and you'd look at, and everybody had their head down.
Right.
Everybody was like, and you'd pass up by 100 people to get to your desk or whatever. And I was just like, one day I was like, what if I just, like, smiled at everybody as they walk, and, like, almost, so what I did, I'd like get in front of them almost to, like, hi, like, and what would happen is they'd smile back. I was kind of doing it as an experiment.
Right.
And by the time I got to my desk, I'd be like, oh, they smile back. I'm like, they like me. Like, we're connected in some way. We didn't say anything, but yeah, little things like that you can do help a lot. Right.
Just a little comedic relief in the workplace.
Yeah.
Like, could make a really big difference of just, like, being, like, we all know that energy is contagious, and having somebody who is smiling and positive is just as contagious as somebody with a bad mood. So you got to, like, you have to really watch yourself around those Debbie Downers, but, tell yourself, I'm not letting them bring me down. Like, it's going to be a good day. I made that pact with myself today in the car. It's going to be a good day.
Yeah, that's great. You have a couple different things I've seen that you've offered out there, and, like, if somebody's, one of them was I remember a 21-day get moving thing. Now, if somebody and it was geared toward just getting people up off the couch, and just, like, what's your best advice for somebody who might be watching and they're like, yeah, like I totally, I need to do all this stuff, but they're just saying to themselves, I just can't, like, you don't realize I have no motivation, but they want to move their body and they just can't get themselves going. Like,
Right.
how do you approach that in your programs and in your way of thinking?
Well, where I really want to go is really deep with that, because of course they could say, well, start really small and, just write down some small goals. Like, I could do that, but inside I just really want to say, like, why? Why aren't you motivated? What's holding you back? Why do you feel like you're not worth movement and feeling good? There's an emotional block there. There's something going on. There's there's an emotion in your body right now that needs to be felt, heard, and released. And maybe it's because you are unhappy in your job, or maybe you're unhappy in your marriage, or you need to have a hard conversation with one of your kids and it's really just wearing on you and bringing you down. And it's just sitting in you and it's weighing you down when all you need to do is either like whip out your journal. You could just start writing. I don't want to move my ass because. you say that over and over again. Just write it. Set a timer for 15 minutes. I don't want to move because I'm unmotivated because I'm unmotivated because, and just go, go, go. Now the key is it has to be 15 minutes, and you will get stuck around after you get through that initial, list of 10. You'll get stuck. If you get stuck, just keep saying, I'm unmotivated because I'm not motivated because I'm not motivated because. Now, what will happen between minutes 12 and 15, you will get the deeper subconscious stuff. And it's probably going to sound something like, well, I'm going to fail anyways. I've always failed before. Why would this be any different? I'll still never make my husband happy, no matter how healthy and fit I am. What if my friends don't like me if I'm healthy and fit? Am I going to lose some friends? Like, you're going to get to that deeper stuff, which is like the stuff that I love to work through, because these are things that people don't realize is keeping them from having the life and the body that they want. It's these subconscious thoughts that we don't really consciously think about on a regular basis, but when you do think, what's my husband going to think? If I'm healthy and fit, what is my husband going to think? Am I going to get arrogant attention from men? Will I lose some of my friends? Will I cheat on my partner? Will my mom hate me? Unfortunately, moms are a big thing when it comes to your weight and your body. So there are a lot of things underneath there that keep you from really reaching your goals, and it's not because you're lazy, and it's not because you like sugar too much. That is some superficial excuse. There is something deeper going on, and it's subconscious, and it's in there, and it's what's sabotaging you, and all you need to do is become aware of it and maybe do some forgiveness work. I hand out forgiveness work like it's free candy, by the way, and so forgiveness work is huge. And then after you've kind of realized and maybe even came head to head with that belief that if I am healthy and fit, I might lose some friends, well, truth is you might. But you need to be able to love yourself enough to say, I deserve to feel good every day, and if Sarah doesn't like me because I'm healthy and fit, she's not a true friend anyway, so it's doing me a service, ultimately. So you have to you have to rationalize and talk to those limiting beliefs so you can really move through them, but that's why people get stuck, because of your subconscious programming and your mindset, not because of sugar. I believe that it starts in your mind, first and foremost.
Yeah, mindset is a huge component, and I think that's the biggest factor when people want to go to lose weight. You can do any nutrition program or any fitness program, but ultimately, if you haven't worked on the why you're doing it and the big vision that you have for yourself, and the emotional blocks, which is what you're talking about, are right. So huge for that.
Yeah.
Have you, when you're working with your clients, I guess, what do you feel like is the biggest block that you see come up for people? Is there a common thing that you work through or that you find from all the clients that you've worked with?
A common thing. Oh, they're just really hard on themselves. That is the thing. And in the weight loss success kit, which I'm giving everyone who's watching, the first success tip is, ending the struggle. And the struggle is about that mindset and, you know, who I call Helga, your sabotager, your ego, your inner critic, whatever you want to name it. But you've got to befriend that piece of you. And you've got to recognize that just because your mind says that you're a piece of crap and you should eat the cake and then beat you up for eating the cake, you don't have to listen to that voice. That voice is not you. And so that's the biggest thing is, Helga, that one concept in my business has changed thousands of lives. That one little concept of naming your ego and being aware of her, that in and of itself, you can become so much nicer to yourself and befriend yourself by merely recognizing your ego and naming it. And if you want to learn more about it, then just on, I don't know if you have like a link somewhere on this page for that. You know, like that's definitely a good first place to go to become in a better emotional state.
Yeah, looking at so there's just knowing that there's a part of you that's, there's multiple parts of you, and one is real and one is not real. And Helga is the one that's more of the not real, like, imposter. And so getting away from that and being like, who's the real part of me? What's the real part of me want?
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you mentioned your free. Yeah, so Nicole, you just mentioned about your free gift. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so this is the Wildly Alive Weight Loss Success Kit. So Travis has the link to it. It's not something that I offer publicly anymore. But like I said, so these are 3 of my best tips on how to lose weight like wildly alive style, which is the way to do it, in my opinion. Okay, so the first step is getting to know your inner Helga, like I was saying. So this is really about ending that internal struggle, naming your ego. It sounds really superficial, and it doesn't sound like it's that powerful, but I'm telling you, when I introduce Helga to women, they are like baffled. Like they're like, that was like the most amazing thing I have ever. This concept just totally revolutionized my relationship with myself. And so it's real good. It's totally worth your time. And then the second one is be a food lover and lose weight. So Travis is familiar with this. The last interview, we really talked about food lover. So this concept is really great for women who love to eat, like myself, and just feel like the whole reason why they can't lose weight is because they just love food. It's just so good. They just can't, it's just so good. And they just have a hard time, and they don't feel in control around food. So it's just an experience that you bring to every time you eat. And it's about mindfulness and connecting with your body and learning how to eat for your body. Again, I don't believe in certain ways of eating. I think there are certain ways of eating that agree with some people's body, and that's great, good for them. But I don't believe that one set way is meant for everyone. And the only way you're going to find out ways of sustaining health for the long term is by learning how to listen to your body. Because if you think about the human body in the span of a lifetime, our bodies are always changing. So if you find one meal plan that works for you, it will not work for you in a few years. And that's because our bodies are always changing. And so if you can learn how to listen to your body now, you have a tool to sustain health and a healthy relationship with food forever. So it's a really great concept. And then the third one is the FGN, Feel Good Now Weight Loss Technique, which is everything that I teach is based on neuroscience and quantum physics. So it's just all about the wiring of the brain. And how we are, why habit is so hard to change is because we are wired to feel certain things in experiences and say certain things. It's literally like autopilot, right? So this is about becoming more aware of this autopilot so you can step outside of it and you can start rewiring your mind for success. It's this fun little 21-day program where you just start to rewire your mind to be in a better, healthier emotional state so you subconsciously automatically make healthier decisions. So that's the success kit.
Well, thank you so much for that offering. That's going to be great and go a long ways to help a lot of people with their goals. I also want to bring up if anybody wants to pre-purchase all of the video recordings, the audio for this particular summit, there's going to be a link in the email that you would have clicked on to do that. Now's the time to do it because after the summit's over, the price is going to go up. So if you want to get this recording and all the other experts' recordings all in one place, there's going to be a special place for you to do that. And I highly encourage that because it's just nice to have everything all at once, so you don't have to be rushed to watch all the interviews. So thank you so much, Nicole, for being with us today. I really appreciate your message and appreciate you as a person.
Yeah, ditto, right back at you. It was so fun, and I hope everyone decides to go out and feel wildly alive today and just feel those butterflies in your belly. That's what life's about.
I'm having butterflies right now.
Good.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.